Hello. This is going to be an awesome Freedom Friday. I'm so excited. Excited. I got my notes here because there's a lot that I want to say. I'm going to allow you all to just roll in. I'm going to allow everybody to just continue to roll in. Hi, Karen. How are you? Good to see you on. All right, we're going to just allow some more folks to roll in, and we're going to talk about the Superwoman complex. It's going to be a heavy one, one that I know a lot of us women are dealing with, including myself, and I think that's why it's a necessary conversation. It's a necessary conversation because many of us are dealing with the Superwoman / Wonder Woman complex. Wendell, hey, how are you? And so when we have this conversation, and I say Superwoman, but it can be the Superman, right? The Wonder Man complex too. It's just a matter of taking on sometimes what can appear to be or feel like too much. Too much of anything is just too much, good or bad. And so it's important that we learn how to manage it all. And so I got notes for days on this topic, I'm telling you, because it's a heavy conversation. So we're just going to give like 2 more minutes, not even that, probably just 1 more minute. Give me 1 second. Be right back. Now, as I always encourage, when you come on to Freedom Friday or any of the lives that I do, I just encourage that you take notes for the information that you're receiving, not just from me, but it may be some individuals that may comment, that may provide some type of insight and knowledge on something. And I want you to take copious notes, because this is not just about a rant or just going on with information just to keep you, motivated. This is about a transformation process. This is about becoming somebody new, becoming somebody different, actually going on or putting yourself on a path where you can become somebody different. It's time to grow again. It's time to go to the next level. It's time to do something different. And it's time to uncover what it is that's stopping us from going to the next level. What is keeping us stagnant? What is keeping us feeling like things are not working out, or they're not coming together, or that we're not capable, not believing in ourselves enough that we're capable of having a life that we deserve. See, many of us are, if you look at the statistics, you see that, there's 1 to 3% that really control the other 99 to 97% of the population, or produces that much income for the world to go round. What will it take for you to become the minority in that? What is it going to take for you to be able to distance yourself and divide yourself from the unmotivated, from the people who are not interested in going to the next level, from the people who have decided to remain stagnant in their life? What is it going to take for you to set yourself apart? See, it's more than just disconnecting yourself from people. It's disconnecting yourselves from philosophies, from thought processes. It's disconnecting yourself from so many other things that have nothing to do with somebody else. Because guess what? Thank you. I appreciate you, Wendell. Because guess what? At the end of the day, many times we are our own worst enemy. Can you believe it? It's so easy to point the finger. It's so easy to play the blame game. It's so easy to tell everybody else, hey, David, how you doing, babe? It's so easy to tell other people of why, they're the reason of why we're stuck, to blame our spouse, to blame our children, to blame, our parents, to blame our boss, to blame everybody else in our life of why our life is not what we would really desire for it to be. It's so easy to do that. But what's not easy is to blame yourself. It's to actually look in the mirror and realize that much of what's not happening in your life is because of you. It's because of you, right? It's because of your inability to get out of your own way. And so today's conversation is not just about the superwoman, it's about the superman too. It's about anybody who has a pure, conscious, or making a conscious effort, I should say, to become the next level of themselves, to venture into the next realm of life. You could have spent the last 20 years on a job and have elevated, gotten promotions and made maximum income and really did yourself proud, have tons of accomplishments and things to look back on and be proud of yourself for. But maybe you're still ready, you're still pushing to whatever's next for you, that that there's more inside of you, and that you desire to have more, but you don't quite know how to get there. We're going to have real talk today. We're going to have real talk about that because many of us are stuck. Many of us are just remaining stuck simply because we don't have the information, the tools, the strategies to put in place so that we can begin to push through, to be able to see what the next step looks like, right? Some of us can't even see how to get started. And so we don't. And so we remain in our comfort zone, at our job, whatever it is that you're doing, wherever you're stuck at, in that relationship, we remain stuck because it's comfortable. And to deviate from that, to detach ourselves from that, is scary. And then fear takes over and we remain in that place. And then 10 years is going by, 20 years is going back, and we're looking back on life and we're saying, wow, I said I never shoulda, coulda, woulda. I didn't want that to be my story, and now it is. How many of you have a list or just a few things that you never accomplished in your life? You wanted to do it. You had a desire to complete it, but it didn't get done because you allowed self-talk to get in the way, because you allowed to be deviated from the plan, from just distractions. Life is going to happen, ready or not. How many of you guys allowed life to take over? And so this is the conversation that we're going to have today about being a superwoman, superman. And a lot of times, I touched on it already. A lot of times this is coming from our own self-talk. Like, we're the ones that's doing the damage. We're the ones that are preventing ourselves from elevating to the next level in our life. And it's constantly, it can come from a number of different things of why we feel like we have to be superwoman or superman. I can speak for myself personally, that I've kind of adopted this attitude. Not that anyone told me that I had to be superwoman. No one told me that I had to be superwoman. But for some strange reason, I adopted this attitude. I actually labeled myself, right? I felt a need to have to take on multiple projects, to become, to condition myself to become really good at multitasking. So it was actually a title that I end up giving myself. And many times that's what we do. We give ourselves this title because we feel that it's going to take for us to do everything, to be everything. Did y'all catch that? Sometimes we think that it's going to take for us to do everything, to be everything. Right? So I have this really strong desire personally to be, do, and have it all. right? I want to just push myself to the limit. Like everything in this life pushes itself into the limit. So like if you plant a tree, you plant a seed for a tree, when that tree decides to bloom, it pushes out every leaf, it stretches every branch as far as it can go. It has no limits. I want to live my life that way. I just want to exercise and push and plummet through and over every obstacle so that I can become the best version of myself. I want to be the best Deneen White. And so in order for me to do that, I've decided that it's going to take for me to do everything. And I did that for many years, constantly taking on new projects, just being busy, like just believing that it takes for me to be busy to have a never ending task list for me to be able to get to the next level. Hey, Mark, Stephen, Deshane, Freddie, Danny. I see you guys all coming in. I've always thought that it takes for me to be busy to feel like I'm actually accomplishing something. I'm actually moving forward and progressing. But what I learned is that that's not what it takes. That's not what it's going to take for you to become. See, you don't have to do everything to become everything that you want to be in your life. That's not what's necessary. It's not necessary for you to have to inundate yourself with multiple tasks and projects and to be working day and night endlessly without any rest or ever stopping to remain present. That's not what it's going to take for you to be everything that you want in your life. Because what that's going to lead to is never stopping, never stop thinking or worrying or self-analyzing or judging or doubting. That's what it leads to. And so that life tends to put us on course to drive ourselves to the grave and live a life where we never really stop to enjoy the fruits of our labor. How many of you guys are working endlessly? Hey, Tiffany. How many of you guys are working endlessly? Right? You're working your full-time job. You're working your business. You're tending to the kids. You're trying to keep your body right, your home right, your relationships right, your business right. You're trying to keep everything right. But at the end of the day, you're feeling like you're behind the eight ball, that you're not doing enough. You're self-analyzing. You're doubting. Hey, Ronald, how are you? Right? You're self-analyzing. You're doubting. You're judging. And then you pick your head up because you feel overwhelmed and kind of burnt out. You pick your head up to see what other people are doing. And then that's where the doubt sets in, right? That's where that comes in, because then we start looking around because it gets hard. And it only gets hard because we've taken on too much. We've taken on too much. So we're going to have this conversation. I hope people don't start blowing me up. They know I do Freedom Friday at 12 noon. What's going on? People always want to call me at 12. But nonetheless, okay, my phone is just going to have to just beep. So nonetheless, I wanted to just kind of lay the foundation, to lay the foreground so that you can start thinking about, you know, if you're in this place, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling drained, or you're feeling like I do everything and that you don't have the right support that you need, that you feel at the end of the day that if it doesn't get done by you, then it won't get done. If you have that type of mentality, this conversation is for you. And if you have any insight, this is a conversation. So if you have anything that you want to offer to people, please put a comment down so that we can talk and so that all of us can become free. It's time to grow again together, right? I'm not even who I am yet, and neither are you. So let's try to get there. So, I was thinking about how, crazy life gets and how we make it crazy, right? We make it crazy. And a lot of times, once we get on that path and we have a ton of things that are taking up our day and we're busy. Oh, no time to talk. No, I can't come out. I can't attend this family event. I can't do this and that, because you're putting on all the things that you would typically do. But because you're in this race, you tend not to do because you're just too busy. And you feel as though if you were to ever stop to be present and enjoy some of it, that you would then feel guilty, because you should either be doing more or you feel that you're going to give the competition a leg up, right? You feel like you're going to fall behind in the game. And I'm here to remove your limiting beliefs, right? Because that limits you. That belief right there, that if you stop to enjoy some of the fruits of your labor, see, I'm not waiting for retirement to retire. I take my retirement throughout life. I enjoy life while it's here, right? Like, I'm not waiting for 65 or whatever that age is. My audio is not working. Please like it or comment if you can hear me. If you can't hear me, I need to know that, please. Are you guys able to hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me. Okay, thank you. I hope that you guys didn't miss all of that. That was some good stuff, right? I hope that I wasn't just talking endlessly and you guys couldn't hear me. Okay, we're going to go ahead and continue to move forward. For those of you, whether you heard me or you didn't, yes, we hear you. Okay, perfect, Danny. Thank you. So pretty much just was talking about how we get into this place of feeling like a superwoman, feeling like a superman. Now we have to start thinking about, once you've identified, see, it's all about confrontation, right? You have to, when we think about confrontation, we think about it in a negative sense. We think about it as being angry or upset or uptight, that we need to address this thing or this person. And it's really not that. Confrontation doesn't have to be a negative thing, right? It's actually, from my perspective, it's a positive thing. Like, you must confront the things that are holding you back in order for you to progress forward. If you don't confront that thing, you won't grow. You won't move. You won't start to progress. You won't start to take steps, right? Steps are signs of hope. And if you're not taking steps, then there we go. All right. And the only way that we can begin to take these steps forward and become the people that we're designed to be is to start confronting some things. So we start this conversation identifying what got us to this place of feeling overwhelmed, of feeling like we're carrying the weight, and why we're doing everything. And then at the end of the day, being burnt out and never really having an opportunity to enjoy any of it. The fruits of our labor. It is so vital. It's so important. If you're going to put the work in, your blood, sweat, and tears, and you're going to go and you're going to work 9 to 5, and then you're going to work 5 to 11 every night, working on your dream, then you have to be able to enjoy some of that. You got to be able to enjoy some of that. You can't leave this earth not understanding how much work you put in and how beautiful life is because of it. Okay? So it's not enough to just say that you're busy, right? We can't walk around feeling guilty that if we slow down, then that'll be the reason that I don't make it to the level that I want to go. Hard work is what it takes to get where you want to go, but it doesn't mean that you have to work all day. It doesn't mean that you have to burn yourself out. What it means is that you have to learn to compartmentalize. It means that you have to start blocking out the time to do the work that needs to be done. See, when you're working on a dream, when you have a plan, then it's important for you to, number one, make a list of all the items that need to be done to make that goal happen, to make sure that you reach that goal, that you reach that destiny. Now, if you make that list, great. Right? Making the list is great, but tackling that list in a day, in a week, in a month is not realistic. And many of us, that's what we're thinking. We're thinking that I just got to move fast. I got to get it done right away. No, once you make the list of what needs to be done, then you have to prioritize that list with the most important things at the top. It could be one thing. It could be that one thing that you just have to do, get it done. And it's going to open up the floodgates. It's going to open up the floodgates to you, and everything else is just going to start flowing in if you just do that one thing. You have a list of 25, but if you just do the one thing, then that's going to free you up and put you into another space where you're going to start to see results. So making the list is important. Then prioritizing that list needs to happen next. Once you prioritize, understand the busy work should be at the bottom of that list. The busy work should be at the bottom of your list, not at the top. The most important things, I'm talking about the thing that is scaring you, the thing that you keep putting off because it's too big, right? It's the conversation, it's the appointment that you need to have, right? Or make. It's the conversation that you need to have, right? It's a task. It's something so large that it intimidates you. That's what you should be doing first. It's not the busy work. See, the thing about busy work, a lot of us are starting our days doing a lot of busy work. And when you start your day doing the busy work, then you find yourself doing busy work all day long. And then at the end of the day, you feel like you didn't accomplish much because you've done a lot of responding to emails and sending out postcards, answering phone calls, sending text messages, all the busy stuff, right? All the little things. Not that those things aren't important, but you have to block out some time where you get that part done and you just do all those little things at once and get it out the way. Block out an hour and say from 11 to 12, this is when I do my busy work. This is when I do the little things. But you can't start your day that way because then you find yourself getting on the phone and thinking about who else can I call and who else should I be following up with. And now you've spent your whole day doing busy work. And then you're looking at your list at the end of the day and you're saying, but there's still so much more that I should be doing to be able to get to my goal. And now you feel behind. And that's when you tend to start feeling guilty about hanging out with your friends, right? That's when you start to feel guilty about any of the downtime that you desire to take, but you won't take because you're scared to tackle the one thing on your list that needs to be done first, the biggest thing, the scariest thing, the thing that's going to move you forward. So you got to make the list and you got to prioritize that list and you have to put the most important thing at the top. You have a grant application that you need to get in, then you need to fill that baby out. Stop being intimidated by the process and fill it out and submit it. Get it in there. Whatever it is that you need to do. You want to start a business, you need to get your business license. You need to spend time to develop your business plan, to do the research, to understand how you fit in the marketplace. That's a big task. It takes time to get that done. If that is what you need to do, that's a big thing. That should be at the top of your list. See, many of us have these small businesses and we come out here with the business and we start off with playing small because we haven't taken the time to put a business plan together. We haven't taken the time to get the proper licensing. We haven't taken the time to actually do the things, the background things, the paperwork that it takes for us to actually be positioned for growth. And so growth doesn't come. It doesn't come because you're not ready. You're not ready. So that's why you have to put the most important things at the top of the list. Yes, it's probably going to cost you money. And you're looking at it like, oh, well, I only have an extra $500 and it costs $500 for me to get started. Spend it. Spend the $500. Spend it. Spend whatever it is it's going to cost you. Make the investment in yourself. See, that's where belief comes in. When you don't believe in yourself, then you won't spend the money. You'll keep looking at the 500 as that's all I have. And then you'll penny pinch it away. And then you'll never make any progress. Plus, you don't have nothing to show for the money that you did have. And so here you are stuck on your job, relying on your boss to cut that check every 2 weeks. I know I'm talking to somebody because this is an all too real situation that happens to many people. And so you have to be real with yourself. You have to confront that thing that's stopping you from moving forward. And then you have to take massive action. You got to take massive action, knowing and saying to yourself that I am good enough, that I do have everything in my hand that I need. No, I can't see it all, but I believe in myself enough and my ability that I am going to push this thing forward, ready or not. I always tell the story about when I got into real estate. Baby, I was not ready. I didn't know I wasn't ready. I just believed in myself so much because my motto was, if no one's going to take a chance on me, I'm going to take a chance on myself. And that's just what it was. That's all it was. I just decided I'm going to take a chance on myself. I know what they're saying about me. I know that they're saying that I don't have the right education, right? Like I'm probably not going to make it because of this thing and that thing. But I disregarded all of that. And I said, you know what? I'm tired of people telling me what I'm not going to be, what I'm not going to do. And I looked myself straight in the eye and I said, Deneen, you're going to get out here and you're going to do your best. I believe that you can do it. I told that to myself. You got to tell it to yourself. And then you got to get the work. See, talking about it is not enough. That's not going to bring about anything. You have to get to work. But when you get to work, you can't do it in a way that is going to overwhelm you. You can't do it in a way that's going to stress you out. You have to learn to move. When they say move, work smarter, not harder, when you're building this thing out, right? And you're planning for the life that you want to live. Like, I'm trying to get to a life where I can do 6 months in Delaware and I can go away for 6 months because the cold weather just isn't for me. When I know that snow is in the forecast, I'm looking at plane tickets, right? Like, I'm like, oh, I wish I could just get out of here, but I can't because I have clients and responsibility. I want to get myself in position where I don't have to look at anything, right? I can just go and I don't have to wait for 65 to do that. I don't have to wait till retirement to do that. I believe that I don't, right? And so I'm putting a plan in place now so that my life will be different in the next 5 years, maybe 3. And yours can too. So when you, let's get back to this list, because when you create the list, you prioritize it and you put the most important thing at the top, then you have to take massive action and get it done. That's why, you hear a lot of people say, get it done today. Do it today. Don't delay. Right? Because you have to do it right away. Success does love speed, right? You do have to do it right away, right? And it's going to consume some of your time and your focus, and you're not going to be able to participate and do certain things that are around you. But once you get that thing done, and you have to measure out the amount of time it's going to take to get it done, you have to set deadlines. You have to be very realistic about how much time and energy it's going to take, and invest it. And then it's done. When it's done, it's done. And then you should stop to smell that rose. Stop to smell it. Be present in that moment. Realize that that was a small win. Realize it could be a big one to you. Realize that it was an accomplishment and enjoy that moment. See, we're trying to be on our journey, to be on our road to success, to building and growing and becoming, but we don't want to get burnt out in the process. So you have to stop. You have to stop and breathe it in. And enjoy it and just bask in the moment, right? But see, a lot of this takes vulnerability. Vulnerability is not something that men or women enjoy, right? Especially in certain type of settings. Most people don't want to be vulnerable because then that can kind of, in most people's opinion, mean that you're weak. And that's not necessarily true. There is a healthy amount of vulnerability that must exist in your life, right? You have to be willing to do the work, right? To do everything that you're supposed to do, and then become a little bit vulnerable, to slip into a space of uncertainty and just trust the process. That's what that means. When you trust the process, that means that you trust that you did what you said that you were going to do. Right? You did that big thing on your list. You got it done. You sowed the seed. You did the work. Now, all you have to do is water it. Right? So if it takes a couple of follow-up calls to make sure that the information that you sent got received, or that, the status that you were that you applied for actually got done. Okay, or you was accommodated on this or that, like to make sure that whatever it is that you have, whatever work you put in, that it actually made it to the destination it was supposed to be. Hey, Lakia. Yeah, so you have to water, you have to follow up. And then in that space when you're vulnerable and you're uncertain, you really don't know how things is going to turn out. And it may be a couple extra things that you have to do. There may be some more legwork, but you're cool with that. Because you're like, you know what? I sowed this seed in confidence and believing and expecting to win, expecting to receive whatever it is that I'm looking for. When you operate like that, then you can water it. And watering it can mean that you're just building up your knowledge base, right? You're reading books, you're studying, you're attending workshops and seminars, and you're doing some background things that's going to strengthen you so that when that blessing does come, that you're ready. And then that's when you start to enjoy it, right? That's when you start to enjoy it because it's like I sowed the seed, I did the work, Everything else is busy work. Everything else is busy work. It's just to say when someone says, hey, how's things going? You be like, busy, right? People love to say that. People love it. So busy, right? As opposed to saying, things are well. It's coming along. We're progressing forward. I'm confident that it's all going to work out in my favor. Those responses are a little bit different than saying, making people believe, whew, I'm so busy. And then you tend to sell that to yourself that, whew, I'm so busy. And you're busy doing a bunch of nothing, right? Even the phone calls, the emails, all that stuff is good. But that busy work is not going to get you to where you're going. It's really not. It's not going to get you, because guess what? Whatever it is that you're working on, whatever it is that you desire to have, it's ready for you right now. It's right. It's like, it may be the 1-year goal, the 3-year goal, the 5-year goal, but guess what? It's probably ready for you right now. You're just not ready. You're not ready to receive it. And so it hasn't shown up. It hasn't shown up for you because you're not ready. Freedom Friday is about getting you ready so that you can receive your blessing a lot sooner than you believe. I almost wanted to go biblical and talk about the 40 years, but we're not even going to go there. We're just going to keep it right here because I want to make sure that you understand. I want to make sure that everybody on here understands that it doesn't have to take 40 years. It doesn't have to take 25 years for you to receive that blessing, for you to go to the next level. It's ready for you right now. You have to get ready. You're not ready. Freedom Friday is about getting you ready. Okay? So, you're focused on building your body, your business, your job, your home, your relationships, everything around you. You know, you're looking to build all of that and to excel at all of that. And that's why you're burnt out. That's why you're feeling like Superwoman, right? So how do we get to be in a place that we know that it's not going to take all of that? Yeah, you got to go to the gym. You got to work your body out. That's important, right? And so if you want to see results in that area, then obviously you got to go to the gym and you got to work certain muscles if you want certain gains. That's necessary. And we understand that. So you do have to put the work in. But you know, every exercise routine requires a day of rest. It requires that you actually sit down and relax and don't go to the gym. If you want to see progress, if you want to see results, every exercise regimen tells you if you want to gain muscle, then you have to take a day of rest. And during that day of rest, you can consume protein and nutrients and vitamins and all the things that are going to help repair those muscles so that eventually you'll start to see the results that you desire to see. Same thing happens in real life. Same thing happens in the workplace, on your job, in your career, in your business. Same thing is happening in your relationships, right? You got to do the work and then you have to stop, right? You have to stop and just smell the roses. Enjoy life now. Be present. Not focused on, oh my gosh, is it going to happen? Because anxiety is fear. That's all anxiety is. When you feel those flutters and you're like, oh my gosh, and you feel like you got to do more, right? I got to do more because you're anxious, which means that you're fearful because you're unsure that it's actually going to work out. So you feel like you got to work yourself to death, right? You can't give up. You can't stop. You can't slow down because you're not sure that it's going to work out in your favor. That's why we got to be vulnerable. That's why we got to slip into a space of uncertainty and we have to just trust the process. You did the work. You did the work. If you put the work in and you know you put it in, you're not just saying you did, right? Like some people just talking, but you're not doing the work when nobody's looking. See, people get celebrated in public for what they do in private. What are you doing in private? And then when you come out, when you pick your head up, when you're ready to smile and relax and enjoy life, it's because you know you did the work. And you're just going to read and study and grow in other areas of your life. So maybe you may start, when you're not sowing that seed, when you're not doing that work, then you're tending to your relationship and then you're strengthening that, right? And you're tending to your kids and you're strengthening the relationships there. right? You're going to the gym, you're working out your body. These are the moments where we get away from the busy work. These are the moments that we get away. This is when we smell the roses. This is when we just enjoy life. You have to have a healthy balance of this, right? And it all comes from compartmentalizing and blocking out time to meet goals in different areas of your life. But make sure that you're enjoying the process and not inundating yourself with stress, which is ultimately going to slow you down and eventually bring you to a stop, where you find yourself still struggling to make that thing happen for yourself because you don't know how to control your environment. You don't know how to compartmentalize and manage your day-to-day. This is why we feel overwhelmed. This is why we start self-doubting. This is why that negative voice is in your head, making you believe that it's not possible. It's possible for you. It's possible for you to become, to be, do, and have everything that this world has to offer. There are no limits. I don't care who's doing what you're doing. I don't care about the competition. I don't care about anything that you feel has come into your way. Your purpose is your purpose. What is for you is for you, and it's going to happen for you. Stay on course by making your list. Be organized in your thoughts, right? Not just running around. See, anxiety will have you running around and feeling like you're all over the place. Oh my God, I'm all over the place. I can't control the day, right? It'll have you feeling like, I don't feel like I got enough done. Because you're anxious, because you're fearful that it may not work. You're fearful that it may not work. David, I'm glad that this was for you. And I hope that it's for a lot of you, because all too often I see that this entrepreneur thing is growing and many people are catching on, and kudos to you. I am so excited to see all the new entrepreneurs, all the people who are deciding to start a business, to follow their dreams, to fulfill their passion, their purpose. I love it. I love to see the posts. I love to see the new flyers. I love to see all the events scheduled. Right? It's amazing that some people are getting it. And I understand that it's not for everybody. You just got to talk to everybody to find somebody who is for. Because somebody needs to be free. Somebody needs to hear somebody else tell them that it's possible. Right? But more than that, they need to be shown. And that's why it's so exciting to see new entrepreneurs surface. Because we need more examples of people who are winning, to show that it's possible, that it's real, that it's necessary, that you take a chance on yourself and stop worrying about if it's going to work. When you do that, you're operating from a position of fear, a position of lack, because now you're taking inventory of all the things you don't have. I don't have the education. I don't have the money. I don't have the connections. Well, it's working out for them because they know that person, because they received a leg up, some insight. They have mentors, right? Oh, he comes from money, right? He has the financial backing. Whatever it is, we give all these excuses. I tell my students all the time, you give your power away every time you say that somebody else is winning because of, and you making an excuse of why you're not. You just gave your power away. You give your power away every time you conjure up these excuses of why things aren't working out in your favor. See, it's not about the how, it's about the why. Once you strengthen your why of why you're going to get this done, of why it's necessary that you make it, of why it's necessary that you go to the next level, once you decide that that is going to be the foundation that you stand on, the how doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how. Because guess what? Once you decide to get started, you, like I said in the beginning, you make that list, you prioritize it, you put the most important things at the top, and you take massive action. Once you do that, all your connections, all the resources, everything that you need, the information that you need, like ideas, will start flowing in. They will come out of nowhere. They will come to you in the late night when you don't even expect it. It'll just show up because you decided to get started. But when you get started, we can't, keep down this road of old habits and believing that in order to make it, you must feel overworked and overwhelmed, because that's not what it takes. It's not what it takes. I may have some people who agree. I may have some people who disagree. But being overwhelmed, being stressed out is not proof that you're making it. It's not proof that you're winning. Because you're busy, that doesn't mean that you're winning. Because you can be busy all day long and have no progress. It's just like being an instructor, right? Being an educator, being someone at the front of the classroom. Just because you're teaching doesn't mean that they're learning. Just because I'm on here teaching doesn't mean that you're learning, right? It doesn't mean that. And so just because you're busy doesn't mean that you're progressing. You're just busy. Busy probably doing a bunch of nothing. Making phone calls, responding to emails, but making no real progress. Because it's some big things. There's some giants that you need to conquer. Right? There's some things that you need to go at head on and stop being fearful and stop being scared. So this Superwoman, Superman complex is developed because of, at the end of the day, because of our own self-doubt. It's developed because of our disbelief in ourselves and our own ability. It sends us on this frantic race to go to a finish line that keeps moving. Because we haven't learned the fundamentals of what it takes. There may be 5 steps, there may be 7 steps, there may be 10. But the fundamentals of what it takes to actually move yourself forward is so much different than being busy. So much different than being busy. Being busy is not proof. So I hope that you're inspired and that you were able to see what's happening in your world that's keeping you stuck, that you're not producing the results that you're actually looking for. Why is it that you started working on this project 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, and you're still not producing the results, right? Like you're still not at the level that you should be. It's available to you. It's ready for you. It's available. It's right there. You're right there. But you can't quite touch it. You can't feel it. You're not in it yet because you haven't grown into a place that understands that it doesn't take being busy. It doesn't take feeling stressed out, tired, right? Like it doesn't take that. It takes for you to operate in a way where you can start to rely. Oh, get this. I missed this. That you can start to rely on a team. That you can identify ways, when they say work smarter, not harder. See, to be everything, you don't have to do everything. So that means that you can actually reach out and identify people who have a level of expertise that you may not have. And to invite them in. To be okay with actually allowing somebody else to carry some of the load. See, you're tired because you're carrying everything. Because you feel like nobody has your back. And you know why you feel like no one has your back? Because you're relying on the people who are around you, that are close to you, that love you. And sometimes these are not the people that's going to carry that load for you. Sometimes the people who are carrying the load for you won't love you. They might like you. They may be able to deal with you. But they may not be the person who loves you, who knows you the most, that's closest to you. It's going to be somebody who just has a level of expertise. That's it. And you have to utilize that. They're interested in offering that expertise. And you have to learn how to use it so that you can grow. Right? If it's available, everybody's talking about boss, right? I'm a boss. Bosses know how to delegate. Bosses know how to delegate so that they can accomplish whatever it is that they're looking to accomplish. It doesn't mean that you have to do everything to be a boss. Bosses don't have to do everything, right? You have to share the load, right? Find some people who you can trust, who you can rely on, who are going to be able to run this race with you. Y'all don't have to talk every day. You know, y'all don't have to hang out, go to happy hour. It's not that type of relationship. It could be a pure business relationship where they are just offering you their information, their insight, their knowledge to help you grow. To help you grow. This is not about being emotional in the process. You're looking to go forward. Emotion should have nothing to do with it. Yes, you're passionate. I get it. I'm very passionate about what I do. But it's not your emotions that's going to move you forward. A lot of this is logic, right? You just have to be smart. You got to make smart decisions so that you can get yourself into the next realm. And so when you prioritize that list, when you identify what needs to be done and what it's going to actually take to get it done, and sometimes that means bringing other people in so they can carry the load so you guys can all go to the finish line together, then that's what it takes. But you have to be smart enough. You have to be okay with yourself enough, confident in your own self enough to be able to do that. And to do that without fear of thinking that somebody's going to steal something or, take something from you. Your purpose is your purpose, right? Your destiny is for you. And you're going to get there, but it's going to take for you to do something different. Do something different. So let's change the standard that we have for ourselves, to know that it's okay to still have some energy at the end of the day. It's okay to still be able to smile throughout the day, to take a moment for yourself. Y'all see my dance videos going up, right? I'm an old ma, but I still got a couple moves, right? And because I'm working on a new project, but I find time to just turn on the music. I work here from my home office, and I turn on the music. I take a break, right? And I just enjoy life. I just enjoy me. That brings me joy, and I find joy throughout my day. Find joy throughout your day, right? So I'm busy. I'm working. My eyes be all stressed from looking at the computer and typing and doing all these other things. But I take a moment. You just have to stop. You just have to stop and just be present and aware and in the moment and enjoy the process. Give yourself some time to just come down. And when you learn to relax and just breathe and just open up yourself to just enjoy your small wins, be like, oh, yes, I got that done. Awesome. Take a break. Take a break. You're going to feel guilty. It's going to be okay. I promise you, it's going to be okay. Take a break. Take a break. And then go back at it. Whatever time slot you have to go back at it, go back at it. And when you go at it, go hard, right? That's where the hard work comes in. If you've blocked out 3 hours, 4 hours to accomplish a task, go hard. Be tunnel vision, allow no interruptions. Do all that you can within that time frame. But when it's time to take a break, I want you to take it 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm not talking about a half a day. Let's be clear. I'm talking about just small 10-minute breaks to go get a glass of water and just breathe and put on some music, something that inspires you, something that is going to put you in a place of relaxation, right? Watch I like to look at my family pictures. My daughter is hilarious, so I look at some of her videos just to kind of just take a moment and enjoy. Wow, Deneen, this is why you're doing it, right? This is why it has to happen. This is my why. Right? And take that time and then go back at it. And you'll feel revived. And then you'll learn what it'll teach you is how to motivate yourself. And you won't be relying on other people to get motivated. You'll learn how to motivate yourself in the process. So I hope that you're uplifted. I hope that you're inspired. I hope that this conversation did you some good, that it was worth your time. I don't know what time it is, and I probably should to keep time. We're only 50 minutes in, so I'm doing good because I want to keep it under an hour. But I hope that this conversation resonated with you in a way where you feel inspired and you can actually see how you can use some of this information and implement it into your life so that you can begin to grow and develop and do something different. There is no secret sauce to success. There isn't. It's just going to take hard work and consistency and the ability to be able to celebrate yourself. See, you can't look for somebody else to give you a hand clap, to pat you on the back. I don't get many pats on the back. I don't get many hand claps. And that's okay, because I've learned how to celebrate myself. Celebrate yourself. Learn how to clap for you. That's what's going to keep you motivated. That's what's going to keep you pushing. That's what's going to keep you inspired. Celebrate you through it all. Because eventually, it's going to come a day when people are going to realize how powerful you are, how much you actually have to give. People are going to begin to see. But just because they can't see it right now doesn't mean that you have to work yourself in the grave to try to prove something. Prove nothing. Do the work, and then rest assured that it's already working out into your favor. So no need to be a superwoman or a superman. Just be consistent, diligent, relentless in the time slots that you've provided for you to do the work. And then rest assured that that seed is sown and it's going to bloom in its time. There's a time for everything. And when it blooms, the floodgates are going to open up and you're going to receive more than you can imagine, more than you can handle, more than you have room to receive. You're going to receive it. It's going to come to you. It's already on the way. I believe it. I know it. I trust it. And I want you to have faith that it's going to happen for you. So have an amazing, amazing rest of your afternoon. This was Freedom Friday, where we talked about the Superwoman complex and how we develop this type. We give ourselves this title, but it's not necessary that we juggle everything. We don't have to do everything to be everything. So I hope that you're inspired once again, uplifted. Please share this live and stay connected. Like I said, I'm working on a new project. There's going to be a flyer posted right after this for all my lady friends that are looking for their moment to be able to unleash and just have a good time. I got something really special for you guys. We're going to do something very different with Move and Inspire. And so I am inviting all of my ladies friends to stay connected. So we have the Mother and Son Affair coming up, but right after that, we have another event through Move and Inspire that's going to give you your moment. You're working hard. You're feeling like you got an S on the chest, but pain in your heart, and you don't know how you're going to like figure this whole thing out. Well, you need a break. You need a break. You need some time to just wind down and relax. And I have that for you. So stay connected. www.moveandinspire.com. Go like my Move and Inspire business page on Facebook and follow me on Instagram, Move and Inspire. We are about to uplift generations. Stay connected. Thanks so much for watching.